All right. Well, welcome, everyone. My name is Jackie Bowman, coach. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to speed through this half hour. So make sure there's just a few things that you need to do, housekeeping items, before we dive into the content. Make sure that you have pen and then you have paper that's lined paper. So make sure you have some lined paper if you can. That would make things so much easier for you as you kind of go through this exercise. So I called this a webinar, but it's also like a small workshop. It's only going to take us about a half an hour. So I'm going to speed through. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some questions and some things to think about. And then you may not have enough time to fully answer those questions, but at least you'll have the question. And then after the call, you can dive a little bit deeper with yourself to make sure that you actually have the true clarity that you need. Again, my name is Jackie Bowman, coach. And if you could do me a huge favor, I said there were no strings attached, but there might be one. If you could follow me on YouTube, I'm trying to get a goal of 1,000 followers. So that would super help me out. I'm just Jackie Bowman, Jacqui Bowman. So this video will appear on there later. Just if you could help me out with that, that would be amazing. So thank you so much. And then if you are interested at all in coaching or have any questions about coaching with me and what that would look like, just send me a direct message through Facebook or Instagram. I'm happy to help you out there. So let's roll right into the exercise for today. So summertime, right? If you're like me and you live in Ohio, first of all, we don't get that much good weather here, right? So when we have good weather, the struggle every day is, okay, everyone else is sleeping in the sun. Do I go after my business? Do I get after my business and achieve more this summer and really kick it up into gear for my third quarter? You know, maybe I fell behind. If you're like many of our agents, the first quarter was a little bit tough. So now maybe on your annual goals, you're a little bit behind. Maybe you sat on July 1st and reevaluated and did a second half of the year business plan. If you didn't, that would be note number one. Where am I on my annual goals? How many units did I want to do? Or better yet, how much net commission did I bring home to my family? And am I on track for the year of 2023? If not, maybe I need to reevaluate those goals, right? Maybe I need to reset those goals into a little bit more intense work. Well, we do that. And then it's like, okay, it's a sunny day in Ohio. That's very rare. Forget about it. I'm going to the pool, right? And so we're in this constant struggle. When we're sitting at the pool, who feels guilty that they're sitting at the pool and they're not working? When you're in your office, like I am today, who's feeling guilty when they look out this window and the sun is shining out and your kids are begging you to go do something? We're always going to have this struggle. And so I have found an exercise that I created that I've been doing with my agents on Monday mornings at 11. And we do this every single month. But today I'm going to kind of switch the exercise just a little bit and switch the terminology of it. But what we do is we plan out each month and we get clarity on what we really, really want. And so today, what I'd like you to do at the top of your paper is just write second half of summer. Second half of summer. We're going to just get clarity on the second half of summer because let's face it, it's July 12th. First half of summer, unfortunately, is over. And maybe we got a lot of fun things in that we wanted to do. And maybe we still have a list of things in our mind or in our hearts that we want to do this summer before fall comes. The first exercise we're going to do, first of all, I'm going to take you through a series of probably 7 to 10 questions. So as I go through this, just be prepared. You're going to have 7 to 10 questions. And then you're going to need a lined piece of paper, like notebook paper, to do a planning out exercise. So those are the 2 things you're going to need. So the first question, or the first set of questions, there's 2 questions. The first set of questions is this: what memories or experiences do I want to have my second half of summer? What memories do I want to create or experiences do I want to have the second half of this summer? Some people call that a summer bucket list. Like if you're all over Pinterest, it's like summer bucket list. And they have all these cute little things, you know. One of them might be like catching fireflies. But mine was like, I wanted to go kayaking with my family. So I did that on Sunday and I checked that box. I love Gervasi Vineyards. If you guys haven't been there, it's amazing. But on Tuesday nights, they have pups on the piazza, which means you can actually bring your dog. So one of my things this summer that I wanted to do is make sure that I got to take Abby and Penny, her dog, to pups on the piazza. So we did that last night. By me doing this exercise literally Monday with my agents, I actually achieved something this week off of my second half of summer bucket list. I was very intentional about planning that Tuesday night with Abby because I looked at my Tuesday nights for the rest of the summer and when I'm in town and when I'm not in town. And I knew that I had to do it this week. So that's the first question. What memories do you want to create and what experiences do you want to have second half of summer? The other question would be, in my business, second half of summer, what must I accomplish? What am I committed to? So there's two lists. What you want to have as far as a memory, an adventure, a bucket list items. What things do you want to make sure happen before the end of summer? And then what are the things in your business that you must get done and must achieve to continue moving forward in your business? Those are the first two questions. What I want you to do now is I want you to think in your mind. For everybody, this is going to be different. When is summer over for you? When does this transition into fall? For me, it's when my children go back to school. Now, many of you know my son, Drew, he has autism, socially graduated high school, but he's going to be in the Kent City school system or go to Kent Roosevelt until he turns 22. He starts school August 16th. So for me, August 16th, he goes back to school. August 28th, Abby moves back to college. She goes to Central Michigan. So for me, that August 16th for me is technically like my end of summer. Yours could be August 30th. Yours could be Labor Day weekend. I want you to think in your mind, when is your summer over? And circle that date. Make sure that you understand in your mind that you're planning from today, July 12th, through that date. That will be your end date. So today is your beginning date. And then that date, whatever that is for you, is going to be your end of summer date. Does that make sense? So go ahead and just write that on your paper and circle that. Now we're going to do just a few other questions. Now that you've got, again, you might need to take some time after this call and fill some of these in. Just make sure you've got your bucket list of the things you want to do, you must do for your business, and then what you want to accomplish when it comes to your end of summer bucket list. Next question I want you to do is I want you to reflect on the first half of summer. What have you already done that you're proud of? Like, did you sell 2 listings? Did you take on a new buyer? What are you proud of? It could have been that you lost 5 pounds. Like, that would be something to be proud of. I just want you to reflect on what you're proud of that you accomplished the first half of the summer. The next thing I want you to do is just write down a highlight. Maybe your daughter got married. Maybe you got a new puppy. That would be a highlight, right? So just something that happened beginning of summer that was really cool. The next thing I want you to do is write down second half of summer. What is a book or a podcast, a class maybe that you could take or sign up for that would move your life or your business forward? So it doesn't have to be business related. Maybe it's a exercise program or a health program. It could be something personal. It could be a Bible study. What is it, a book, a class, a podcast that is just going to move me forward in my life or business? Like, let's not just sit back and just let happen what happened, right? Let's be a little bit intentional about our inner growth. So that's number 3. Number 4, I want you to fast forward to that date. For me, it's August 16th. For some of you, it's August 30th. For some of you, it's Labor Day weekend. I want you to think about that date. And I want you to ask yourself, what feelings do I want to feel when that date comes? What do I want to have accomplished? What fun did I want to have over the second half of summer? How do I feel about my relationships with my family, my friends? Did I fit it all in? How do you want to feel on that date about how you spent your time? Because let's face it, we all have the same amount of time. Are we proud? Are we accomplished? Do we feel responsible? So how do you want to feel at the end of summer? First of all, I love fall. It's my favorite season. So I'll be excited for fall, but I know many of us are really, really enjoying the summer. So just reflecting back, how do you want to feel about your second half of summer? And again, you might want to dive a little deeper into these after the call. I just want to kind of get through this really quickly so that you all can take it and reflect on it today. Maybe you're in the office, maybe you're at the pool. Either way, these are good to think about. First half of summer, what I want you to do is think about what has distracted you. So sometimes with my coaching clients, I call this contamination, or clarity equals your capacity. So if you want to write this down, this is just a side note. This is not a question. This is just a side note. I just want you to write down this equation. Clarity equals capacity, subtract contamination. And what that means is if I take my capacity, which is what I'm able to do, which by the way, everybody, if you reach within your inner self and think about the day before vacation, all the stuff that you get done, that's your capacity. That is your pinnacle of performance. The day before vacation, I mean, you get the grocery shopping done, you get everything packed, you get the house cleaned, you get all those to-do list things that have been sitting on your desk for 3 months done, right? Everything gets done the day before vacation, right? So that's your inner capacity. And we all know what that is. If we take our capacity and we subtract our contaminations, a contamination is simply distractions, negativity, negative people, broken systems, things that need to be changed out. It could be a standard. It could be a person. It could be any of those things. Like, what is preventing me from being the best version of myself and working to capacity? What are those contaminations? So if we know our ability, which is our capacity, and we subtract our contaminations, we're going to get clarity. And we're going to be able to be the best version of ourselves. So what I want you to do is reflect on first half of summer. What are some of the contaminations that you've had? What are some of the things that have distracted you or got you caught up or maybe caused emotional distress? Maybe certain things that have gotten you down on yourself. And the question would be, when talking about contamination, is there a standard in my life that I need to create for myself? So is there a boundary that you need to create? Is there a standard you need to create? Is there a tool or something that you need to purchase or implement in your life or business that would keep you on track? So this is a tough one, and I want you to reflect on that. This one will take you quite a few minutes to do. So I'll just pause right here to kind of make sure that you're caught up on questions. And then there should be a little Q&A at the bottom. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in there. I'd be happy to answer those if you have any. So go ahead and put those in the chat if you have any. So those are the first set of questions. So those are some things that maybe you have answers for really quickly, and then maybe you're going to reflect on those and answer them today to give you a little bit more clarity in this exercise. Next question is, it's going to be based around business. So you probably have your second half of the year goals, and now we're working on our second half of summer goals. Like, what are some goals that you've put into place? Maybe it's to take a certain number of listings. Maybe it's to close a certain amount of transactions, which that's kind of hard to do because you've got a 30, 60-day lead time for closing, but just setting some of those number goals. This is question number 7. What measurable growth activity or prospecting goal will you complete second half of summer? So for me personally, I have a goal to meet with 10 new agents that I've never met with before about their business and just pour into them and share with them how I could help them with their business and maybe give them some ideas of how they can, even if they don't coach with me, can help themselves in their business. So for me, second half of summer, if I meet 10 new agents that I've never sat down with before, that would meet my goal. So you could do the same thing. It could be that I'm going to meet with 10 potential sellers. Out of those 10 potential sellers, maybe you end up taking 7 listings. That would be a great goal. So think about what type of prospecting and measurable growth activity that you are going to do. So the question would be, how are you going to get those 10 seller appointments? What are the different ways of lead generation that you're going to utilize second half of summer? And when do you think might be the best time to do those? And don't worry, we didn't forget about your fun bucket list. We're going to get to that. This is the part of the activity that'll probably take the longest. And honestly, this is where I will probably just pause the video, and this is where the workshop comes into play. Okay. You've got all of those questions, which during this silent period, I will type those in the chat to make sure that you can see those. And then what we're going to do is we're going to plan out from now until the end of your summer. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The first thing you're going to do is just take a sheet of paper that is lined paper. And I'm going to just do this with you so that you can see exactly how this goes. So at the top, I'm going to put second half of summer 2023. And I'm just going to put July 12th through August 16th. Okay, so I'm just going to write that at the top of my paper. As you can see, I just put second half of summer 2023, July 12th through the 16th. And then I'm just going to number like this. I'm just going to show you. So I'm just going to on each line put the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, all the way through August 16th. And by the way, there are 31 days in July. Okay, so you're going to continue with your numbers all the way down to the end of summer. And then the second step to this is you're going to put next to each number. Do you see what I did there? I put a W for Wednesday, a TH for Thursday, F for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? So what you're going to do right now is you're going to take that paper and you're going to obviously use front and back, and you're going to do all of the numbers through the end of August or through September 4th or whenever your end of summer is. And then you're also going to put the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next to it. So this is going to take a couple minutes. We're going to go ahead and do this together as a workshop. Okay, so you're going to, again, I'm just going to hold this up in case you're trying to play catch up with us. Okay, you're going to go ahead and number that out. So you're just going to put Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, exactly, all the way down. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to fill in when and what days you're going to fulfill the bucket list and actually do the fun activities. Okay, because our family does come first. And so as long as you don't have a list of 27 things and you want to make $1 million this summer, right? Because those things kind of clash, right? You've got to have a little bit of priority in what really matters to you. Who are you spending your time with? What memories are you going to create? And what are you actually going to do this summer? And make sure that you fit that in before the end of summer. So what I want you to do is think about, are you going to any conferences? Do you have any weddings that maybe you're attending? Do you have any birthday parties that you're celebrating? Are there certain times that you're going to be out of town or busy? You're going to mark those off first because those you've already committed to. The second thing you're going to do then is this number 3. You're going to fill in when and what days you're going to put those bucket list items in. Fill those in and you're going to give those priority. Right now, if you do have a part-time job or maybe you're a full-time job, I have a couple people on here that are not realtors, right? You're going to request a day off today for August 3rd or whatever the day is, right? Because you already know when you're going to do this specific thing. So you're going to go ahead and plan out all of those personal things. The fourth thing you're going to do then, you're going to fill in when and what days you will fulfill the business commitments. Now, I also call these focus days. So just a little tip. If you are going somewhere fun or you're hosting a bonfire or a birthday party on Wednesday, July 19th, Thursday, July 20th is probably not going to be the best focus day. However, Friday the 21st might be an amazing focus day. So you've got all of these goals, right? So for me, and this is where I think personalized coaching comes in, and you'll just have to decide for yourself what type of person you are. For me, I'd rather take a focus day. I could work 2, 3, 4 hours setting myself up for 5 appointments the following week with my 5 agents or my 5 sellers. I might work an entire day just focused. I have a little bit of ADD, so I get hyper focused and I get in a zone and I just do it. Other people, like my husband, complete opposite. He's amazing at being consistent with doing 12 of these a day, 12 of these a day, 12 of these a day, right? 12 calls, 12, whatever they are. So decide what type of person you are. The other tip I will give you is there are certain things that we must do every day in our business. If I commit to being at my desk until 11 a.m. or commit to being at my desk until noon every single day, I can also then give myself the freedom in the afternoon to accomplish some of these things on my bucket list. So you're going to have to evaluate and realize that there are really no rules except for the commitments and rules that you make for yourself. Have standards. I just want you to write down the word standard and put a star next to that. What are your standards? Like, how much money do you need to make this summer for you to feel accomplished? There's a standard within there. And then there's also a standard of what type of spouse you are, what type of mother or father you are to your kids. So you're going to have certain standards, and you need to make sure that we're meeting all of those in a way that's in alignment with who we are. So there's no right or wrong in this. You may have other coaches say, this is what your schedule should look like, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Well, that's not going to work for everybody, but what will work is each one of us having exact clarity on what we want to get done, what we're committing to in both of those areas, so that we are not really having balance, but we're having clarity in what we're committing to. You're going to fill in your bucket list of fun stuff. Then you're going to fill in your business commitments or your focus days. You're going to fill in all of that stuff right along here on each and every line. So let me see if I can find mine from Monday, because I will show you what the finished product looks like. So this is what mine looks like so far. I've put down some meetings. I'm actually taking a trip to Alaska to visit some of our agents and some of my coaching clients. So my husband's got a birthday on the 28th of July. So you can wish him a happy birthday. My daughter's moving, right? So I have a lot of different things on here, but I did add 2 days of Cedar Point with my son because we have passes, right? So I added that in here. So you're just going to kind of write next to everything. Here's my one from the month before, just so you all know, like that's kind of what it looks like. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to transfer it in electronically to your phone or whatever system that you use in order to keep track of your time. And before we end the call, which by the way, you're going to need time to do this. So this will take you probably a good half hour to answer these questions and to finish these items. But what I want to do now is ask you one last question that I want you to reflect on as you're doing this exercise. I want you to envision 5 years from now. Okay. Envision 5 years from now, and you can close your eyes if that helps. And I want you to see your future self. I want you to see the clients that you're working with, what your family looks like, what your time looks like with your family, what kind of house you're living in, all of those kind of, just imagine yourself 5 years from now. And I want you to ask yourself, who do I need to be now? Who do I need to be today, this summer, July 12th, 2023? Who do I need to be today in order for that vision that I've just cast for myself to be true? If that were true in July of 2028, what would need to be true today? Who would I need to be now over the next 6 weeks in order for that to manifest itself? And making sure that when we're planning out our month, that we're writing things in and taking action and getting clarity based on where we want to be in life and making sure that they're in alignment with who we are. We're not comparing ourselves to other real estate agents. We're not comparing ourselves to other wives. We're not comparing ourselves to other moms. We're having a vision of who we are and where we want to be 5 years from now, and making sure that this summer we're taking the actions and doing the things that are in alignment with what our goals are and our lifestyle and our patterns of behavior. Yes, it's great to get comfortable with becoming uncomfortable. It's great to challenge ourselves to do new things. And it's also super empowering to take what we're already talented at and take what we're already comfortable with and maximize our capacity and our talents in those zones and create a life that's good for us. So I just wanted to thank all of you today for attending this little webinar. If you liked it, please send me a direct message in Facebook. Tell me the best thing that you got out of this. And then if there's any way that I can prove, or if you want to be one of those 10 agents that you want me to sit down and do a one-on-one discovery call or coaching call with you, I would be happy to do that. But just ask yourself, why not become that person today and take action and have an amazing, amazing second half of your 2023. Thanks everyone for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your summer. Talk to y'all soon.